next bone of the upper limb is the ulna. So special feature of the ulna is that its upper end is broad and lower end is narrow, while the radius is the opposite. In the radius, the upper end is narrow and lower end is expanded. Now the upper end of the ulna is having the most top point is called the olecranon process, and there is a notch here. This is called the trochlear fossa, and in this trochlear fossa there is a fitting of the trochlea of the humerus bone, pulley-like structure. So this is the trochlea, and below this fossa there is a triangular area in front of the ulna. This is called the coronoid process. So remember, the coronoid process, coracoid process is belongs to scapula, but this coronoid process is the front rough area of the ulna, as the coronoid process is also present in the mandible. So remember, coronoid and coracoid process, they have got the different areas. So never coracoid is only to the scapula, and lower part of this ulna is called the head of the ulna, and which bears the styloid process. So this is how the trochlear fossa, and this is the coronoid process, and upmost part is called the olecranon. This is the shaft of the ulna. So medial border is, and the lateral border. So medial border is smooth, the lateral border is sharp, is called the interosseous border, because it will form the middle radio-ulnar joint, or interosseous membrane is attached to the sharp medial border. Then there is a posterior border also posteriorly. If we see the bone posteriorly, so this is the lower end with the styloid process and the head. Now just medial to the coronoid process below, there is like the supinator crest, and there is a depressed area below. This is called the supinator fossa. So this is how we do the upper shaft of the lower end of the ulna. Now comes the muscle attachment and the nerve supply. So the uppermost part of the tip of the olecranon, here is the tricep muscle is inserted, and nerve supply of tricep is the radial nerve. Then on its medial border there is attachment of a anconeus muscle. So anconeus muscle is the muscle of the elbow, and the rough coronoid process, which is anteriorly placed. Here is the insertion of brachialis muscle, and brachialis muscle is a hybrid muscle. This is the muscle of the dual nerve supply. Medial half is supplied by the musculocutaneous nerve, and lateral half is supplied by a twig of the radial nerve. And this is then comes the supinator crest. So supinator crest, as the name suggests, it gives the origin of the supinator muscle from the supinator crest and the area behind it. So this will give rise to the supinator muscle. So this supinator muscle is taking origin, and nerve supply of supinator is deep branch of the radial nerve, because radial nerve enters the forearm from the cubital fossa. Then here it divides into a superficial branch which supplies the superficial extensor muscles of the forearm, while the deep branch goes inside the supinator muscle and comes out of, supplies it and then comes out near its lower border, and then it becomes the called posterior introitious nerve. Then this nerve runs over the posterior surface of the introitious membrane, which is also called the middle radioulnar joint, and then it descends downward and ends into a pseudoganglion on the dorsal aspect of the extensor retinaculum of the wrist joint. So pseudoganglion having no nervous tissue but having the nervous connective tissue. So it is attached with the deep branch of radial nerve that is called the posterior introitious nerve. So this is the course, and then the anterior surface of the shaft of the ulna will give rise to the origin of a muscle that is called the flexor digitorum profundus. Flexor digitorum profundus. So this flexor digitorum profundus is also a hybrid muscle having the dual nerve supply. Its medial half is supplied by the ulnar nerve and the lateral half is supplied by the ulnar nerve and median nerve. So, this has to be remembered that the medial half is supplied by the ulnar nerve and lateral half is supplied by the median nerve. Then below here, another muscle is taking origin from the lower 1/3 of the anterior surface of the shaft of the ulna. This is the pronator quadratus muscle. Action is pronation, so it is also supplied by the anterior introitious nerve, which is the branch of a median nerve. Pronator quadratus, because it is quadrangular in shape, inserted over the radius. Then on the posterior surface, the muscle which takes origin is the flexor digitorum profundus also, and extensor digitorum, longus, and below is the extensor indicis on its posterior surface. Extensor pollicis longus, and below is the extensor indicis. So they form the tendons of the thumb, snuff box, and one form the extensor of the index finger. The extensor indicis and extensor pollicis longus takes origin from the posterior surface of the shaft of the ulna. Then here also a aponeurosis is present. This aponeurosis gives the origin of the flexor digitorum profundus, then flexor carpi ulnaris as well as the flexor carpi radialis. And the styloid process below, the styloid process of the ulna give rise to the attachment of the fibrocartilaginous intra-articular disc of the radiocarpal intra-articular disc of the wrist joint. So that is the styloid process attachments. The fracture of the ulna is usually not single but common with the radius. That is called the Montesia fracture.